Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I hope you're all doing very well. So today's video is very random, very impromptu video from me, but I put out a little question box on my Instagram earlier and I didn't think I'd get many questions because I think I put one up last week and I thought, oh, I'll just put one up and see if anyone's got anything. And there was quite a few questions, so I feel like, and quite a few of them needed like quite a big answer. So I was like, right, do you know what I'm going to do? Rather than just doing like little random stories, I am going to do a YouTube video about it and see if I can help answer some of the questions, because some of them are quite, yeah, they needed more of an answer basically than just one story. So let's get into it. Excuse me, it's 9:30 at night. I've just set this up randomly. I'm in my pajamas. Anyway, off track. Let's get started into the question. The first question was, when did you start naps in Stanley's cot with a monitor? Any advice? So I actually spoke about this with a friend today. She asked me the same question. So we started Stanley napping in his bed around, I'd say, about 12 weeks, 10 to 12 weeks. I just wanted him to get used to it basically, and I just felt like if I kept putting him in our little snuzz pod thing, which is next to our bed, I just felt like, when is he ever really going to get used to his cot? So when he was like 10 weeks, he looked so tiny in it. He's just kind of got used to it. And I honestly think with that one, this is just my personal opinion, I think the earlier the better. I think if you can put them in their cot and get them used to it, then I think that's great. I think I'm all for, like, when they're younger, like contact naps, they're so lovely. Like, you can't beat a contact newborn nap, you really can't. I'm all for like pram naps when you're out and about, like 100% do what you need to do. But if you are at home and you want them to have a good nap and you need to get on with stuff, try and put them in their cot. As long as they're safe and they're warm and there's like nothing around them, then I just think give it a go. And we started Stanley there and he naps so well in his cot now. Pretty much has all of his naps in his cot if we're at home, and he does the first half of the night in his cot too, and then we bring him in with us. I still don't feel quite ready to have him in there overnight, mainly because we're going on holiday next week and I don't want him to get used to being in his own space completely, and then we're kind of like, hi, disturbing him again on holiday. So yeah, it was around 10 to 12 weeks. Okay, the next question is, when did you start a routine with Stanley? He is adorable, thank you. He is really cute. I reckon it was around then. I reckon it was around 10 to 12 weeks we started a little routine. It was so loose to start with, it was just whatever worked, and it is still really loose, to be honest. Like, we're really sociable people. I think I've said this before on here, but we were out the other night like till 9:30 in the pub garden. That sounds really irresponsible, but you know, we weren't both drunk, I was driving. But yeah, we were out till then. I just put him in his pram, made him really cozy, and he just fell asleep there, and then we just transferred him straight to the cot at home. So yeah, we're really flexible, but I'd say we try and make sure he goes down between 7 and 8. Sometimes it's 6:30 if he's exhausted, and sometimes it's later depending on the thing. But it was around 10 to 12 weeks I think we started, and the difference it made was phenomenal. That's when he started sleeping through. I don't know if it had anything to do with the fact that we started the routine then, or the fact that I stopped breastfeeding then, or the fact they say that they just start to kind of grow up a little bit more then. I'm not sure, but yeah, the routine made all the difference, and yeah, I think they're great. Okay, another question on routine. Somebody has said, what is your routine? So basically, we don't really have a routine so much in the day. We do to the start of the day and we do to the end of the day, but the middle of the day is whatever happens. So start of the day, he usually wakes up between 6 and 7, and then he'll have a bottle almost straight away. It depends what he's doing. Sometimes he wakes up and he's like wants a bottle there and then. He's like miserable and moaning. Sometimes he can just like play around in his cot for ages and just not be fussed. So it just completely depends really, but he has a bottle almost within sort of 20 minutes of waking up. So he has the first bottle, and then we have about an hour of play, I'd say, and then he's absolutely cream crackered again. So we try and get him back down for a sleep. If we're not going out anywhere, I will put him back to bed, or in his cot to bed I mean, and he'll usually have an hour sort of minimum, sometimes 2 hours maximum. That's usually his longest sleep of the day. I don't know why. You'd think like he's been asleep all night, like why would he want to go back to sleep? But he always does. He's always exhausted. So yeah, that's like the main sort of bulk. And then after that, it just, in the day, it just depends what we're doing. If we're going out, he'll sleep in his pram. There isn't really any routine to the day at all. And then when he gets back, we kind of try and start the bedtime routine at like 6:30. So we usually have a bath or like a bit of a playtime, a bath, try and really knacker him out, have his bottle, I'll read him a book if he's not fast asleep. Sometimes he just wants to go straight to sleep, and then I put him down. So that's kind of our little routine really, and it works quite well at the minute. And yeah, it'll be interesting to see what he does on holiday with like a little bit of a lax routine, but we'll see. Hey, somebody has said, how is your hair loss? Anything that you are doing for it? Mine is horrible. It's horrible, I hate it. I've always shed hair quite a lot, I don't know why, but I always have. But this is like next level. Yeah, it is pretty bad. But I'm not doing anything for it. I'm just letting nature run its course. That's what's gonna happen. It's quite common. So we'll just see where we are at the end of it. Probably won't have any hair left, but that's fine. He's worth it. Somebody has also asked, what stroller are you going to use for your holiday? So I'm really excited about this. So I'm actually using a Baby Zen yo-yo. A lovely company called the Baby Zen Yo-Yo Hire are lending it to me for the week. It's a rental service of the Baby Zen, and they do all sorts. They do the newborn Baby Zen, the newborn bassinet, the newborn nest, and also the 6-month Baby Zen. And you can basically hire it for your holiday, which I just think is such a good idea. And I'm actually working with them on a collaboration for this, so that is what we're doing. I'm really excited to use it. I will definitely report back. We'll see in the holiday vlog how we get on with it, but I'm super excited to use it. Originally we thought Stanley would be in the newborn nest part, but we actually went to John Lewis the other day and I thought I'm just going to try him in it and just see if he fits. He doesn't fit. He actually fits perfectly in the 6-month pack, and he's already sitting up in his stroller in his Bugaboo Fox anyway, so he's going to be absolutely fine in there. And yeah, I'm really excited to use it, and I will let you know how I get on. Somebody's asked, what does Stanley sleep in during this heat? So at the minute at night, his room is kind of sitting between 20 and 22 degrees, and he is still in a normal sleep suit and a 1-tog sleeping bag. So that's what's working for him at the minute. As it starts to get a lot hotter, I think he will probably be in a vest, like a short sleeve vest, and the 1-tog sleeping bag, and then we'll sort of see how we get on as it gets hotter. But at the minute, yeah, his room is between 20 and 22, so it's kind of not too bad. But yeah, we'll see as it gets hotter. He'll probably move down to a vest, I would imagine. I think you can also get, don't quote me on this, but I think you can also get 0.5 tog sleeping bags. So it might be that we end up getting one of them too, which I guess it will literally be like paper because the 1-tog is. He's also just moved up to the 6 to 12 month sleeping bags. The other ones I felt like were a little bit tight, the 0 to 6 ones. I just felt like he hadn't got much room in them. And I looked on the label and he's well outgrown the height of it, what it's supposed to be. So yeah, we've moved to the 6 to 12 month ones, which just look massive, but they fit him. He's just growing so quick. The question is, has Stanley shown any signs of going through the 4-month sleep regression? No, not yet, and if I'm honest, I'm shitting myself about this. I really don't want it to happen. He's such a good sleeper. We're so lucky. I'm just so petrified that it's going to happen, but if it does, it does. Check him actually. It's okay, just checking on the monitor. Yeah, if he does, he does. Nothing we can do about it. We'll just have to get through it. But I think once you've had a taste of uninterrupted nights, to then go back to it is going to be so hard. Hopefully he doesn't. Some of my friends said their babies didn't go through it, so hopefully he doesn't. He had a bit of a dodgy day today with his naps, and I thought, oh, is this it? But he seemed to have gone down and fine okay tonight, so fingers crossed he just skips it. I will be the luckiest person alive if he does. How did you deal with making the decision to stop breastfeeding? God, it's such a hard one. It's such an emotional decision. It's ridiculous. I felt like our decision to stop breastfeeding was kind of taken out of our own hands. He had a tongue tie that only really got diagnosed at about 10 weeks and got snipped at about 12. I think roughly that. So by that point, we were kind of going a lot more to the bottle because of the pain I was in. He also was having like 40-minute feeds and then being absolutely starving after it, which was really unusual because when I could pump, I was pumping like 6 or 7 ounces, but yet he wasn't really seeming to get much from me. That was because of the tongue tie, we later found out. And I think, yeah, it was just such a difficult decision. But I think once we got him onto the bottle and we realised he was happier on the bottle, I was then happier, I was in less pain, and then it just became a bit of a no-brainer really. But it did not stop me being very emotional about it for weeks. To be honest, I probably still am. I sometimes still think, did we try hard enough, or did I try hard enough, not him? You know, did we give up too early? All those things. And sometimes when I see people breastfeed, I do get like a little pang of like, oh, I miss that. I do miss breastfeeding him, but at the same time, it's made me a bit emotional. I don't know why. I think it's just, yeah. But yeah, at the same time, the bottle is working really well for us. So yeah, I think it was the right decision at the time, but I think it's one of the things that when you then look back on, you feel a bit sad. But it is what it is, and that chapter's over for us, and we're on to the next one. And I mean, he's going to be weaning soon anyway, so I've got lots of exciting things to look forward to. But it is hard, it is hard. I think you've just got to do what's right for you and for baby. And this is what I always say, and this is just my personal opinion, so don't come for me on this. So I always say to my friends who stop breastfeeding, and say, do you know what, they will thrive on the bottle or the breast. So if your mental health is better when they're on the bottle, I personally think that's what's more important. I don't know if that's the right thing to say or not, I don't know, but I personally think the mother's mental health is more important than what the baby gets, because they will thrive on either. And to be honest, I'm just proud that we did 12 weeks of it. He got 12 weeks of breast milk, that's what I'm happy with. Would I've liked to done longer? Yes, of course I would have. Like, I loved breastfeeding when it was good, but when it was bad, it was really bad, and I hated it, and hated the pain, and I hated my mental health and everything. So yeah, it's really hard, so I'm sending you lots of love. Somebody else asked, what age did you start using the front facing carrier? We were, I'm gonna have to have a look at my phone. I think he was just over 3 months, and they say not to put them front facing until 5 months, so don't take this as like it's my advice, because it's not. This is just what we did. I just found every time I put him in the carrier facing me, he'd just kick off basically, and he hated it, and it was stressful, and I need to get my dog walked. And yeah, basically I just made the decision one day. It was actually my sister-in-law said to me, why don't you just front face him? And I was like, oh, you're not allowed. I was like, just do it. If you want to do it, just do it, see how he gets on. We started with like a couple of minutes in the house, and then 5 minutes, and then he's absolutely fine now, and he can hold his own head absolutely perfectly. And to be honest, the carrier that we've got, the baby born one, is quite supportive still, so it's not like he's kind of like out there bobbling around. Like, it's quite supportive around his neck. So yeah, I think it was just over 3 months, and it made the world of difference. So yeah, definitely worked for us a little bit earlier. Daytime nap tips. So nap tips in general, sleeping tips in general, these are my things that I do with Stanley. So every time he has a nap, unless we're out and about, if we're at home, and this is if he's going to bed too, we do white noise, always, 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 swear by it. Sleeping bag, dummy, comforter, darkness. They are my 5. I wish I could make like a little funny thing so you could remember it, but I can't. So yeah, they are my 5 things that we do every single nap time basically, even when we're out and about if we can. But if we can't, then you know, it just has to go. That's it. But yeah, white noise, always have the white noise on. It just helps him sleep better, I don't know why. And also we've got a dog and he barks, and it does block out all the noises. So yeah, white noise always. Dummy, we use a dummy with Stanley, have done since I think he was about 3 weeks, and he loves it, and it just soothes him. And if he doesn't have his dummy, he will find his thumb. To be honest, he gets quite frustrated with his thumb, so if I can find the dummy and put it in, I will. Yeah, the next one is his sleeping bag. Always put him in the sleeping bag. We're at home, obviously I wouldn't put him in his sleeping bag in his pram, but he pretty much always goes in the sleeping bag. I just think it's like a little routine. We've put him in it since day 1. He knows that that's like associated with sleep. I think it's the same as the white noise. The second the white noise goes on, he knows it's sleep time. It's like all them sleep cues. A comforter or a muslin. He likes stuff, I know this is like not safe sleep, but he likes stuff around his face to try and get him off to sleep. So occasionally I put his comforter like right near his cheek, and and he seems to love that, but I do take it away when he falls asleep because I panic that he's going to put it over his face. So yeah, that goes away after he's fallen asleep. And then darkness, which is a new thing actually. I used to just put him to sleep wherever, but I was finding he wasn't really napping very well, and then we made his room pitch black and he sleeps so much better. So they are the 5 things that I do with naps. Can I just say though, not every nap goes absolutely to plan. I feel like I sound like I have everything together. Some naps do not go to plan. Most of them do, in all honesty, but some don't, so yeah. Okay, oh, that's quite interesting. This is a bit what I was just saying. Do you get false starts at bedtime? Not usually at bedtime. Naps, yes. Sometimes we can get a false start. We think it's going ahead and then it doesn't. And he kicks off and he doesn't want to have a nap. But usually at bedtime he's ready. He had a bit of a protest this evening. He wasn't 100% sure about going down, but he just kind of self-soothed himself. I think the one thing we've always done from a newborn is put him down awake, always, and he's always just took himself off to sleep. Maybe that's just the baby, maybe we're just really lucky, but I do think a lot of it is doing it from a young age. He slept on us a lot as a baby, but we also put him down a lot, and I don't know whether that helped. I'm not sure. And it's how many ounces does Stanley usually have per feed? 6 ounces, most feeds, but in the morning I do 7, and then sometimes at night I do 7 depending on, you know, when he last fed and stuff, but mainly 6, yeah. Okay, somebody has said, what are your biggest struggles as a mum? There's quite a lot of struggles actually. Sometimes it can be really, really difficult. I think my main one for me at the minute is trying to balance work and having him and the mum guilt. I just feel so guilty sometimes. Like I just feel like I don't want to be on my phone when I'm with him, but sometimes a client needs something, and yeah, it's like the kind of mum guilt with like juggling work at the minute. But it's also just, it's just hard, isn't it? Sometimes it's just really hard. Like some days are fine and then some days you have and you're just like, oh. I think it's the, for me, what I've found recently is the mental load. I know that's quite a like saying that's going around a lot at the minute, but it's the mental load of being a mum, which I find really difficult. And I think it's because I'm probably working at the minute as well, which I know a lot of people don't, or mums don't have to work until the baby's 9 months to a year. But to have work, have the baby, make sure that you're a good wife, make sure that the house is tidy, make sure you're looking after yourself. I just find that like some days I'm just like, oh my god. So yeah, I say my biggest struggle as a mum at the minute is the mental load, and also like the mum guilt, like the working mum guilt. It's just, yeah, it's horrible. Somebody has said, what do you want for your life in the next 5 years? More children, in all honesty. Definitely more children. I would love to have 3 children if we can. I'd love to have 4, but don't tell. Definitely see a few more children in our lives in 5 years. I'd love to move in 5 years. I think I've been saying that for a while, but life has just happened. Like with COVID and then going down to a lower income, and just, yeah, life has just been crazy the last few years for everyone. So I feel like that's definitely been put back. And honestly, I always say this and it's probably cringy, but just to be healthy. I'll just be so happy if me and my family are healthy within 5 years. That's always my main goal, is just to have our health. But yeah, I'd love to also have a few more children if we're lucky enough to, and I would love to move house to a bigger, more us house, like more sociable house. I love this house, but it's like not a, it's quite boxy, like the rooms are quite boxy. It's not like a sociable house. I'd love to have like a decent like kitchen, diner, lounge kind of area, like a playroom. Oh my god, that'd be dreamy. I've in 5 years for my career to be in a very different place, in all honesty. I'd love for this to become my full-time job. That would be amazing. I'd love to be creating more content for brands. That would just be fab, because this is what I enjoy doing the most. I absolutely love it. So if I could turn my passion into my career, that would be the ultimate goal. Anyway, that is it. That is all the questions. Let me just check that no more are coming in, because I just had a few more. Okay, no more. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you have any other questions, pop them down below and I will happily answer. If you like this video, you like any other videos, please hit the subscribe button. I'm so nearly 1,000 subscribers, which I feel like it's taken me years. It has taken me years, but I'm really excited to be there, because as soon as I hit that, things will start getting a little bit more interesting for me, which I cannot wait. So yeah, please subscribe, guys. If you have TikTok, me on there, I'll pop that here, and Instagram, and I will see you all very, very soon. And I think the next video that I upload will probably be a holiday vlog, so I'll see you all very soon. Bye.